Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. We're about to go out and do a couple of jobs, and it looks like we've got a storm moving in, but we'll just see about that. Let me ask you a question. Oh, before I ask that question, welcome to all of the new subscribers. Uh, Hope you enjoy and get something out of the content. All I ask is that you be nice. I claim to have the smartest commenters in YouTube land. The smartest, absolute. And if you need proof of that, just go to any of them and read some of the comments, and you're going to find that after hopefully you've learned a little bit by listening to me, you're going to learn even more by reading the comments. We have people here who have just a depth and breadth of experience that that often amazes me. So listen to the video, watch the video, and then read the comments. And then, if you feel like you're called upon to do so, leave a comment of your own. We love to. I enjoy that. I don't always have the time to answer all the comments, but I read every comment, and so feel free to leave a comment. As I say, do be polite, do be nice, don't call anybody names, don't tell anybody they're silly for feeling a certain way. This is kind of my house, and I don't let guests insult other guests. You know, occasionally somebody does that and they have to get bounced, and I don't want to do that because I think that everybody has something potentially to offer. But if someone, acts in a certain way that makes me think that what they have to offer simply isn't balanced by what they detract, then I bounce them. But I'm sure that doesn't apply to any of you all, so welcome. I have a question to ask you. Could you survive in a grid down situation? Now, I think when I asked that of people, I find just a wide spectrum of answers, anywhere from no, to oh yeah, I've got it locked, and some of those people do, and some of those people don't. Grid down is one of the favorite survival and preparedness scenarios, isn't it? And if you've read my books, and I suggest that you do, because it's a whole series. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Shooting a video. Come on up. My buddy's here. We're going to go out and matter of fact, I don't know if I'll get him on today, but we're going to make a medical video on that. If you've read my books, I suggest that you do, because they're all about a grid down situation. So far, there's 4 books. I'm really not pumping the books, or that's not why I made this, but I want to say that so many people have ideas of what a grid down situation would look like and what you need to be able to prepare for it. And in many cases, that it's a fairly short-sighted idea of what it takes to be prepared for it. Yeah, if you don't, you can go on in the house, or you can come around here and sit down, whatever. I'll be in a minute. It's many of them don't. If they go long term, they go fairly superficially. And I'm not calling anybody out on that, because most people haven't really sat down and put in the thought work that goes into what then, right? Okay. That's why I wrote the Stonemont series, because it is about everything. Okay. If you want to know, and I'm sorry that I'm pumping my books, but I wrote them. I think they're the best series to read about preparedness, about survival, about the collapse of society, about different groups coming together, about groups dealing with each other, about any number, and long-term rebuilding of society and civilizations, and what comes with this, both good and bad. You see, it's been my business to think about this for a long time. And I think a lot of people, and I have an assignment here in just a second that I'm going to invite you to. I saw something over there and it blew my train of thought, but I'll get right back to it. I think one of the things, I think people have a lot of shall I say, they have a lot of ideas that I don't believe are necessarily right when it comes down to a grid down situation. And one of those, and I'll just throw this out here to give you something to think about. One of the most popular is the golden hordes that are going to be spilling out of the cities and into the countryside. You know, like a bunch of locusts just taking everything and eating everything in its way and killing people and everything like that. Uh, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think a lot of that came out of a book that was written a long time ago, and it was one of the first that kind of, well, I won't name it, but because I'm not a fan of it. Um, it was the first to kind of hit this whole idea about an EMP and what would happen. And because there was a scenario in that of golden hordes, and then other people jump on it and jump on it and jump on it, it's almost to the point to where it's become such a truism just from people who haven't thought about it themselves very much, but they keep repeating it, that everyone believes it almost. And if you disagree with that, it's almost like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because everybody knows that there's going to be golden hordes. No, everybody doesn't know that. Everybody thinks that because they've heard it a million times, and they think that repetition equals truth, and that's what's wrong with so much in our world today, isn't it? But I disagree with that entirely. As a matter of fact, I cover it a lot in my books. So I am a person who actually knows the city. Okay, I grew up in the city. I was a cop in the city. I still have contacts in the city. I know how the various groups, even the very, very bad groups in the city, how they think, how they act, and I have a pretty good idea how they would respond to these kinds of situations. A lot of those golden horde things come out of, well, they come from people who really aren't city people. May I put it like that? And I don't mean to put people down like that. But if you don't, if you haven't worked a cattle ranch, you don't understand a cattle ranch, right? You can put on a hat, you can talk all about it, but you don't understand a cattle ranch. Matter of fact, I'm going to get something out, do another video about something about that, about all the tactic talk that I hear out there, and another one. But the city, I know the city, and I don't believe there's going to be any golden hordes coming out of it. So I'm just throwing that out there, like, because the what should I call it? Not an assignment, but project. Let me say that assignment, whatever it is. I've put a link to a movie over on Patreon, and by the way, well, I won't get into that right now. I put a link over on Patreon to a movie that I just watched again. Within the last couple of days, had to do it in a couple of sittings because I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. And it brings out a lot of questions. I think that it's important to think more and more about this than people have before. Because there are all number of reasons that the grid could go down. It doesn't have to be an EMP. It doesn't have to be a CME. But the results could very possibly be the same. Now on end problems down the road are going to be somewhat different. But this brings us, just by understanding there are any number of reasons that the grid could go down and take that seriously. I think it's never been more important than right now. So I put a link over on Patreon. For those of you who are over on Patreon, if you're not, you should be. Watch the movie. Watch the movie. It's not bad, to be honest. It's the acting's not bad at all. You're going to see some holes in the story, and there always has to be some love interests and things, to make it spicier and more interesting, so you care about the people. And the photography is great, and I think it's a pretty good movie. I won't say that it's an instructional. It's not what you would sit down and say, now do everything exactly like this. But I think I didn't mind the movie, and I mean, I don't even like movies for the most part because most of them are stupid. And this happens to be in my wheelhouse, and I still kind of liked it. But what I think is what the reason for this group project, as I might say, is go watch that. Go over to the Patreon, hit the link, and you'll see what the movie is because I think we'll see. Um, and watch the movie and then share all of your thoughts in the comments section. And I can't wait to hear what everybody's going to say because as smart as people are here on YouTube, they even go deeper over there on Patreon. And I think we're going to get some real good observations. You're going to find things that you like. You're going to find things that you don't like. You're going to find things that are smart. You're going to find things that are stupid. But the more that you're able to share with other people, you're going to help other people by doing that. And that's really what this venue is all about, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Patreon. It's about helping people. And this really is your venue in that respect, that you're able to use your background or even your thoughts or just throw a thought out there. I'm not expecting everybody to be an expert on this. Throw a thought out and throw it around. Let people comment on it. And like I say, be polite, be nice. Appreciate the fact that somebody's putting themselves out there and put out a comment and treat that comment with the respect that it deserves. And if somebody disagrees with you, no reason to get butthurt. Just if they put it nicely and consider their point too. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your all's comments on that. And I'm going to go off and do some work here. And you all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.